Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our online audience as well. Here at the Real Garage Life stage at the Mecum Midway at Mecum Kissimmee, the world's largest collector car auction. I'm Matt Avery, one of our on-air personalities, and I'm so excited to be having another live interview highlighting one of the unique consignments that's crossing the auction block. And joining me up here is Michael Jackson, and that's no stage name.
No, that's the real deal, Matt. It's good to be here. Every year I come to this, I think it can't get any bigger and better, but it keeps getting bigger and better.
It really does. And you've got a great car that's crossing the block. What's the year, make, and model of it?
It's a 1968 GTX Resto Mod. Got a crazy story behind it, but that's the car we're selling tomorrow.
It's got a great look to it, Michael. I love it. And before we dive into some of the specifics and some of the features on it, I'd love to start this conversation about where your passion for muscle and classic cars comes from.
Yeah, so when I was 14 years old, I was working 40 hours a week at White Castle. And I was saving all my money because I would go to the drugstore every week and I would get muscle car magazines. And I wanted a 1970 Dodge Challenger. It had to be plumb crazy, had to have a 440, had to have a 4-speed. And so when I turned 15 years old, I went to White Bear Dodge in St. Paul, Minnesota, or actually White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and I bought a brand new 1970 Dodge Challenger, plumb crazy 440, and couldn't get my license for another year, so it sat in the yard for a year. That's how I got involved in the classic car world.
Well, hopefully this question isn't too painful, but where's that car today?
That's a good question. I traded it for a Pinto station wagon and a color TV.
I don't know who got the better end of that deal, but hopefully you were happy with that Pinto and TV. And from there, how has your love grown? I mean, was there a time when you kind of moved away and you got back into it, or has your passion remained consistent through the years?
It's been consistent through the years. I always say that the classic car, muscle car business is a disease that is terminal. You never get rid of it once you have it. But I was selling a 63 split window coupe, original numbered cars. I actually sold it to a guy that works at Mecum, Craig Smith, and I met him, and he said, how'd you like to get into the classic car business with me? I ended up with 3 classic car stores over the next few years, and that's where the GTX eventually got into my life.
Now, have you always zeroed in on Mopar? Obviously, there's a big connection there with that first car. Have you stayed consistent to that, or have you enjoyed some other performance products from Chevrolet, Ford, and the others?
Well, I've got a 24 Z06 right now, so I don't mind Chevrolet. But I've been a Mopar guy since I was 14 years old, always have been, always will be, and so that's kind of been my love.
And one final question before we move on about that first car. Any memories about favorite spots that you would drive around town? Did you use it for school or work or going down to the burger joint?
So I've been married for 53 years. And you're probably saying, that guy looks way too young to be married for 53 years. But I've been married 53 years, and I used to pick my girlfriend up when I was 16 years old. In fact, my first date with her, official date, was when my birthday when I got my license at 16, and we went to a drive-in movie in that 70 Dodge Challenger.
And what was the movie, Michael?
I have no idea what the movie was about.
But that's a great story. So let's talk a little bit about what we've got here crossing the auction block, because it's got quite a neat equipment list on this GTX.
Yeah, before we talk specifically about the car, let me say this. I ended up in the car business, and I learned the hard way that sometimes there's some unsavory characters in the business. And I was down big time with these 3 stores, and I ended up selling every car in all the stores, and this was the last car that was left, and it was a total rust bucket. You wouldn't even have taken it to the junkyard. That's how bad it was. And we went through every nut, every bolt, everything in this car is brand spanking new. Some of the best builders and interior guys in the country worked on this thing.
That's awesome. Now let's start with the exterior. What is this paint color?
Silver. I have no idea.
All right, well, too many technical terms there, Michael. Obviously a nice silver graphite. Any information about the suspension, the brakes, wheels, and tires?
Well, everything's been redone. It's got the I think it's called QA1 suspension. It's got a Hemi crate motor in it. It's got a rebuilt 727 with the electronic overdrive. The paint, you asked about the paint. It is spectacular. If you get a chance to see the paint, the guy that did the paint work is out of Fountain City, Wisconsin. He did an awesome job. In the interior, that's what I really like to talk about, but everything in this, no dollar was spared on this car. The best of everything.
Wow. And you mentioned that interior, and let's dive into that. How is it set up?
So this is a true custom interior. Happened to be, I have a home on Merritt Island on the water, and my neighbor does interiors for guys like Don Johnson, jets, jet boats, all that kind of stuff. And I said, do you do cars? He brings out a book that's like a New York encyclopedia, this huge book of cars he's done. And I said, I want you to build the interior. He built it custom. He built the frames. It took 9 cowhides to build that interior. 9 cowhides. So there's a cow somewhere without any skin now. But he did a spectacular job, as you can see. And we tried to keep it kind of like it was back in '68, but with all the modern stuff to it. And that's what the whole car is about, is the kind of like the classic look with the high performance, great, mechanicals and all that kind of stuff.
So it sounds like that was obviously the driving force. Was there a name or a theme or some kind of a moniker that you referred to with this GTX?
Well, I call it the Silver Streak, but who knows what you're going to call it. But by the way, you see that shifter. It's an automatic, but it has the pistol grip shifter on it, so it looks like the 4-speed that I had. I wanted to kind of go back with that, but that's what we did there.
And you mentioned that engine before. Let's dive a little bit more into that. What's underneath the hood?
It's got a 392 Hemi crate motor. I wanted it to be fuel injected because, ease of starting, ease of driving, and all that sort of thing. So the car just starts with one click of the key, shifts fantastically. You can see how beautiful we didn't want to make it gaudy. We wanted to make it beautiful and spectacular and say muscle all along, and I think that's what we accomplished.
Awesome. Now, since the project's been completed, have you had the chance to get it out, put some test miles on it?
Yeah, I put about 1,000 miles on the car, and I tell you what, you can't go anywhere without drawing a crowd from everywhere. I mean, the car absolutely is stunning. By the way, that's where I live in Wisconsin, where the pictures are taken. You guys came out and did the photo shoot, and I like that look of the green and the beauty, and then the car, the muscles, so it's all together.
Now, remind our viewers, when can they see this beautiful GTX across the auction block?
Yeah, so tomorrow afternoon, the 10th, Saturday, it's going to be about halfway through the show. And, I don't sell cars typically at auctions. Like I said, I had 3 classic car stores, and I'm pretty good at marketing stuff. And so this is going to be a fun experience. Tell you, my heart's beating already, and it's not tomorrow. So I think it's going to go well, though, from what I'm seeing.
With this one off on new adventures, are there any plans in the works? Do you have any future projects that are either underway or maybe in development?
Doesn't really make sense, but I have a short attention span. And so I finished this car, I said, well, it's probably time to sell it, but I'd like to do a Road Runner for my brother. He had a '69 Road Runner when he was a kid. He always misses it and can't afford to buy one, so I might build him a Road Runner, but I don't really know. Something comes along, maybe I'll buy something out here.
Well, sounds great. Well, Michael, I love seeing the passion, and it's great to see how that first car has led to a lifelong love affair with these classic Mopars. I love the GTX. I'm excited to see it sell tomorrow.
Thank you for doing the interview, and thanks to all the folks at Mecum. This is an amazing. I've done the other companies where I've gone out and done, but nothing's like Mecum.
Well, we appreciate that, Michael. And for those who are watching, you can catch the Silver Streak racing across that auction block tomorrow. And, of course, stick around here at The Real Garage Life for more live music and more interviews here at Mecum Kissimmee.
Did you want to 17 time? Anybody want to bid 60? Give 50. Give 15,000 to the bid. 20s here, 30.
The odometer reads